Hi, I'm Stephen Amell. I play Oliver Queen, and you're at Comics Online.
Hi. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in. Let's jump in. So, very happy to see Katie Lotz coming back.
Thank you. I am too.
So, what's going on with that? Please.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, we love Katie, and she's amazing, and she really was such a big part of season 2. We absolutely had to bring her back for season 3, and we made a recurring deal for 3 episodes. But we've got ideas and sort of a need, certainly beyond 3. So you're just going to see her in a recurring role the same way we have, the way John Barrowman was a recurring in season 2. Sometimes people are regulars and sometimes they're recurring, and we go back and forth. And, when they're recurring, just contractually we have to sort of work around people's schedules. But we do that dance and we juggle everything around. And as Katie is available, one of the things we want to do for certain, it's been on our bucket list since last year, is we want to do a flashback story that basically takes Sarah from the shores of Lian-Yu after the Mesa went down to Nanda Parbat and becoming a member of the League of Assassins, and how she meets Nissa and how that relationship developed. All that is something we are absolutely determined to do. We just don't know what episode it's going to go in yet.
That's awesome. And one more question, since you brought up John Barrowman, can you talk a little bit about him or his character and taking Thea, basically?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we really wanted to bring into season 3 that was present in season 1 but wasn't really a part of season 2 because of the nature of season 2 was the element of mystery. Season 1 had a lot of mystery to it, and there was the undertaking, there was the well-dressed man who we revealed was John Barrowman, and we revealed what he was up to, and the conspiracy, and there was a sense of cloak and dagger that season 2, because it was a more straight-up revenge story, didn't have. And one of the things that we decided at the beginning of season 3 was to re-inject that element into the show. And certainly John's character, Malcolm Merlin, allows us to do that because A, he's a mysterious figure, but also his agenda is mysterious. And certainly we ended season 2 between him and Thea on this note of, ooh, what's going to happen next? And we're actually going to show you the remainder of that scene in the limo, and what she said to him and what he said to her after basically they looked at each other and we cut out. So you'll get a chance to see, but it's a big part of the fun of season 3 is the mystery of where is Malcolm, what's Malcolm up to, what's Malcolm up to specifically vis-a-vis Thea. That's going to be something that will evolve and roll out slowly over the course of at least the first 10 episodes.
Okay, so that being said, then Barrowman will definitely have a much larger role.
Oh yeah, he's a recurring. I mean, he's a series regular, and he'll be in at least 18 episodes this year. So he's a part of the casting officially, and our goal is to surprise you. One thing we're not going to do is he's not the big bad of season 3. You're not going to end season 3 with a big fight between Malcolm and Oliver, because we've done that already. So the fun of season 3 and Malcolm's presence in it is the unexpected ways that he is injected into the story.
It seems like the series has fun finding a gray area between evil and anti-hero. So can you talk a little bit about that? I guess not just Merlin, but Slade and any other.
Well, the thing we always say is every villain is the hero of their own story, which is another way of saying when I was working on a show, when I was working on Law and Order, I had the showrunner who says, no one wakes up in the morning, looks themselves in the mirror and says, boy, I'm an asshole. And I happen to think that evil people don't think that they're evil. They think they're doing the right thing. So we've written our big bads always with that philosophy in mind, that they don't think they're evil. They just think they're doing what's necessary. Malcolm thought he was saving the city by destroying the worst part of it. Slade thought he was genuinely, screwed over by Oliver and was determined to get, righteous vengeance. that's going to also happen. You're going to learn more about the big bad tonight in Hall H, but the big bad of season 3 will also have a similar, self-righteous agenda. And it's part of it's gray, because I think the world is gray, but also part of it is the fact that those characters are just more interesting and these are more realistic. Again, Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, all these jerks they didn't think they were jerks. That's sort of the model that we're always looking at.
Do you also look at it as an opportunity, or at least to leave maybe like a window cracked to bring that character, or one of those characters back as some sort of maybe reluctant ally at some point?
That's always a possibility, and it's always fun. Like, one of the things we always talk about is like Superman 2, Lex Luthor and Superman kind of teaming up, X-Men 2, Magneto and Xavier. That's always fun, It's not the reason we delve in the gray. I think the reason we delve in the gray, apart from what I mentioned, is the idea that when you have a character who basically is a vigilante killing people, that's a character who is also doing bad things for a righteous purpose. You've got to contrast them with a bad guy also doing bad things for a righteous purpose and force the audience to say, well, really, what's the difference between this guy and this guy? Why is this guy a good guy and why is this guy a bad guy? Again, like, you could do the Slade Wilson show, tell the whole story from Slade's perspective, and he's the hero. That to us is where the juice is, that moral complexity, that gray is.
Each season seems to have its own through line, its own theme.
Yeah.
How can you tease us out what the season's theme is?
Identity. It's all about identity. That's actually why the trailer we released yesterday begins with, the new portion, the non-season 2 portion of the trailer begins with a man cannot live by two names. For Oliver, certainly it's, is it Oliver or is it the Arrow? Can he be both? What's the duality going on there? But what's cool about season 3 is that theme. Normally, our theme and our through line is Oliver-centric, and this year that's certainly true. But this year, what's cool is that theme also resonates with all the other characters. Laurel, am I Laurel or am I my sister? Am I, Thea Queen? Am I Thea Queen or am I Thea Merlin? Am I Malcolm Merlin's daughter or am I Moira Queen's daughter? Dig, am I a sidekick or am I my own man? Am I, a crime fighter or am I a father? Felicity, am I Oliver's crush object, or do I have my own identity, outside of him? Do I exist outside the lair? Everyone's got their own little question of identity and dilemma this year, and that to me is the most exciting part, because it's cool to have a theme that we actually look at from all the different facets through all of our characters, because now we have a pretty large ensemble.